Hello, and welcome to Body and Wisdom Yoga. I'm Michael Flockhart, and I'll be leading you through your practice today. Today, we'll be working on warming up our spine, incorporating twists and back bends into the practice. We'll start by coming into child's pose. So on your hands and your knees, bring your big toes together. Separate your knees out to the sides and sitting back towards your heels. Rest your elbows down and rest your forehead on the mat or maybe on a block to modify. And just take a few deep breaths to your nose. Once again, beginning this process of going inwards and connecting to our breath, connecting to our bodies. Just noticing the gentle expansion of the rib cage on your inhale, and perhaps lengthening of the spine, allowing the hips to drop towards the heels on the exhale. And after your next exhale, on your inhale, start to transition onto your hands and your knees. So opening the fingers wide, stack the wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips for cat-cow pose. On your inhale, lift your chest, lift your sit bones, drop your belly. We'll hold this for a few breaths. So gazing forward, relax the forehead, and keeping the shoulders over the wrists, press your chest forward, maybe lifting the hips a little higher, deepening the stretch across the front body. And transitioning to our cat pose, keeping the arms straight and strong, round your back, bring your chin onto your chest, pull your belly towards your spine, pressing your upper back to the ceiling. Hold this for a few breaths. We'll move between these two postures with the breath. So on your inhale, lift your chest, lift your sit bones, drop your belly. And exhale, your cat pose, rounding your spine, chin to chest, belly to spine. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Let's try that a few more times. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Last time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Coming to a neutral tabletop position with the spine, gently draw the lower belly back and bring your left hand to your left hip. And twisting to the left, turn the right side of your chest to the left and just look in the direction of your chest. Try activating your oblique muscles, the muscles that align the side body, to maybe turn a little deeper. Breathe as deeply as you can. And looking towards the floor, place your left hand down, right hand to your right hip, and twisting from your center, turn the left side of your chest to the right. Again, just looking in the direction of your chest. And looking down, place the right hand down. And again, left hand to your left hip, activating those oblique muscles, twist to the left. Your left hand can stay on your waist, or if it's okay on the left shoulder, you can extend the left fingertips up. Continue looking in the direction of your chest, or softly gaze towards your left thumb. And we'll put our twist in reverse. So thread your left arm underneath the right. Left palm faces to the ceiling. Move your left shoulder towards the right edge of the mat, and dropping your left shoulder and your left ear down, move your right hand off to the right, stacking your right elbow over the right wrist. Gently press your right palm into the mat to deepen the twist in the upper back. Slowly unwind and transition back to all fours. Take a few rounds of breath through your nose. If you've lost the connection to your core, gently pull the lower belly back. Twisting to the second side, place your right hand on your right hip, turn the left side of your chest to the right. Continue looking in the direction of your chest or softly gaze out over the right shoulder, maybe extending the right fingertips up. Use those oblique muscles to maybe twist a little deeper, keeping your hips level and square. And then thread your right arm underneath the left. Right palm faces towards the ceiling. Move your right shoulder to the left edge of the mat and dropping your right ear and your right shoulder down. Move your left hand off to the left, Stacking that left wrist underneath the left elbow, gently push that left palm into the floor to maybe deepen the twist in the upper spine. And slowly unwind. Transition back to all fours. Walk your hands forward about a palm print. And keeping the elbows by your sides, we're going to lift the feet away from the floor, keeping the knees bent. And just slowly lower towards the floor. And once your elbows are at about a 90-degree bend, hold it here. And then press into the mat to straighten the arms. And we'll just try that a few more times. If you prefer, your feet can stay on the floor. Bending the elbows, keep the elbows by your sides. And coming to a right angle with the elbows, squeeze the blades together. And then straighten the arms, pushing your hands into the floor. We'll try that one more time. So elbows stay by your sides. And squeeze the blades together as you bend the elbows to about a 90-degree angle. And then straighten. From here, curling the toes under, place your toes on the mat. And gently sit back towards your heels, stretching the bottoms of the feet. So modified child's pose. Arms straight out in front of you. Try aligning the ears with the upper arms. Maybe crawl your fingertips another ½ inch forward to ensure the arms are straight. And as you actively push all four corners of your palms into the mat, turn the inner upper arms or the biceps towards the ceiling. And just breathe into the shoulders. Good. Then lifting your chest away from the floor, bring your shoulders over your wrists. Again, keeping the elbows by your sides. We're going to lower all the way to the floor. So reach your chest down, reach your belly down, and resting your hips down, point your toes straight back for Sphinx pose. Prop yourself up in your forearms. Elbows are underneath the shoulders or maybe a little bit in front of the shoulders. With the forearms parallel, try moving your upper arm bones back in space. Lift your lower belly away from the mat and reach your lower belly towards the thumbs, releasing the lower belly back down. Just feel a gentle stretch in the upper back. To deepen the stretch, isometrically pull the elbows towards your waist. Good. I'm going to work another twist, activating our oblique muscles. So keep pressing both elbows into the floor as you roll towards the outer right hip, eventually stacking your left leg on top of your right. Continue pushing that left elbow into the floor. Really work your oblique muscles and breathe as deeply as possible through the nose. And slowly rolling back to center, roll towards the outer left hip. Try stacking the legs, pushing that right elbow into the mat to activate those oblique muscles, maybe twisting a little deeper. And then slowly lowering all the way down, stack your wrists. Rest your forehead on your wrists. Take a few deep breaths to your nose. Lifting your forehead away from your wrists, reach your right arm out to the right at shoulder height. Left hand underneath your left shoulder. Crawl the right fingertips another inch or two to the right and start to roll to your right. Either stacking the legs or bending your left knee, place your right foot flat on the floor behind your left leg. If this is uncomfortable on your neck, you can use a block or rolled up blanket underneath your head. Left hand can stay in front of you, or to deepen the stretch across the front of that right shoulder, reach your left fingertips back behind you. And rolling back to center, extend all 10 toes straight back behind you. With your right hand underneath your right shoulder, reach your left arm out to the left at shoulder height. Crawl the left fingertips a little further to the left and rolling to your left. Either stack the legs or bend your right knee, placing your right foot flat on the floor behind the left leg. Again, resting your head on the floor in a block. Right hand can stay in front of you or reach the right fingertips back behind you. And slowly roll back to center. Extend all 10 toes back. Stack your wrists. Rest your forehead on your wrists. Lift your legs one at a time, turning your inner upper thighs to the ceiling, catching some internal rotation on the legs, and feeling the little toe sides of the feet come closer to the mat. Curling the toes under, press the backs of the knees towards the ceiling so your kneecaps lift away from the floor and your thighs are activated. Keep this strength in the legs as you lift your forehead away from your wrists and bring your hands back by your hips with your palms facing up. And we'll try moving towards locust pose. So moving the front of the shoulders away from the mat, gently squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep pressing the tops of the hands down, maybe lifting your chest away from the floor to activate the muscles that align the spine. Toes can stay curled under or keeping the strength in the legs. If it's okay on the lower back, you can flip your toes, reaching your toes straight back. So go for length versus height. Breathe deeply. Big inhales through your nose for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower everything down. With your hands alongside your rib cage, come up onto your hands and your knees. We'll go ahead and sit back towards the heels. To modify, grab a block or maybe a couple blocks and sit on the block, placing the block between the feet, elevating the hips. Inhale, reach the arms alongside your ears. Releasing your right hand to the outside of the right hip. Crawl the right fingertips to the right and try and place that right palm flat, maybe using a block underneath the right hand for support. Gently bend over to the right. So actively push that right palm down to deepen the stretch across the left side body. And bending the left elbow, place the left hand on the back of your head and start to turn the right side of your chest up. Using your left hand to support your head so you're not straining in your neck. Inhale, slowly rise up out of the pose. Release your left hand to the outside of the left hip. Reaching the right fingertips towards the ceiling, crawl your left hand to the left. Eventually try to place that left palm flat in the floor on a block. Gently bend over to the left. Bending your right elbow, place your right hand on the back of your head. Turn the left side of your chest up, reaching your right elbow up and back. Again, use that right hand to support your head, feeling a stretch across the right psoas, the right side body. Good, then inhale, slowly come all the way back up. Release both hands on either side of your hips. Walk your hands behind you about a foot, either fingertips facing forward or up to the sides to modify. Maybe also using blocks underneath your hands here. Gently squeeze the blades together as you lift your chest to the ceiling and bring your chin onto your chest. So breathe into the upper chest, doing a little bit of a back bend in the upper back. Stay here, or to challenge yourself deeper, press the tops of the feet down to maybe lift the hips away from your heels or the block. Your chin can stay tucked or let your head fall back if it's okay on your neck. Big inhales into your upper chest. Good, and lowering the hips back down, come upright with your torso, walk your hands forward, transitioning onto all fours. Good, and curling your toes underneath, just lift the knees away from the mat for a modified dog. So align the ears with the upper arms, be up on your toes, heels are lifted, try reaching your hips a little higher, getting that extension to the spine. As you actively push your palms into the mat, try turning the inner upper arms to the ceiling to deepen the stretch in the shoulders. If it feels okay in the legs, you can start to drop the heels towards the floor, straightening the legs any amount. Good. And on your exhale, press back towards your feet. Lift your heels high, bend deeply at the knees. Look forward between your hands and just step or walk the feet towards the hands. I'm going to sit down on the mat. So coming all the way down, just extend the legs out in front of you to start. And bending your right knee towards the ceiling, we're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. Place your right hand behind you, maybe using a block underneath that right hand for leverage. We're going to inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale the left hand or the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Before going into the twist, lengthen the spine, extend the crown of the head up, trying to shift the weight towards the front of the sit bones. Gently pull the lower belly back and start to initiate the twist from the inside. Turn the left side of the chest to the right and just look in the direction of your chest. Again, keeping the spine long. With each inhale, maybe feel the spine get a little taller. With each exhale, maybe twist a little deeper. And looking forward, slowly unwind out of the twist. Extend both legs out in front of you. Bending your left knee to the ceiling, place that outer left ankle on the outer right knee, and with your left hand behind you, inhale the right arm up. Exhale the right hand or the right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Again, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, maybe start to twist a little bit more deeply. So activate those oblique muscles we were working at the beginning of our session to maybe twist a little bit more deeply. Good, and looking forward, slowly unwind out of the twist. If you're working with a block, move the block off to the side. Bend your knees, place your feet flat. Reach the fingertips forward. Round your upper back, bringing your chin onto your chest. Reach your upper back towards the wall behind you. And finding this connection to your core, gently pull the lower belly towards your spine. Keeping that connection, slowly lower onto your back, one vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way down, release your head down. Draw the heels a little closer towards your bum. So as you reach back for your heels, your third finger should just about graze the heels. Toes and knees pointing straight ahead. On your inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Extend your fingertips straight back. Maybe rock from side to side to bring the shoulder blades closer together so they fall flatter onto the mat. With the palms facing one another, turn the triceps towards your nose. Breathe into the shoulders. And on your next exhale, bring your hands down by your hips with your palms facing down. Inhale, lift the hips away from the floor, any amount. Exhale, lower the hips back down. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down by your sides, palms facing down. Lift the hips away from the mat. Lowering the hips down. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down by your hips. Lift the hips away from the mat. Lower back down. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And last time like this. Exhale, hands down by your hips. Lift the hips away from the mat. Lower the hips back down. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And then just go ahead and bring the hands down by your hips with your palms facing down. Lifting your head away from the mat, check to make sure the outer edges of the feet are parallel with the outer edges of the mat. Lower the head back down. You want to have your feet about hips width, maybe shoulder width if you're a little tighter in the back body. We'll transition to a bridge pose. If you'd like to work with a block here, go ahead and grab your block. On your inhale, lift the hips away from the floor. If you're working with a block, slide the block underneath your sacrum on whatever setting you'd like, low, medium, or high if you're feeling open, and resting your sacrum squarely on the block. Breathe, reaching the knees straight ahead, so make sure your knees don't move out to the sides. If you're working without a block, an unsupported variation, press down evenly through all four corners of the feet, ensuring that the ball mounts of the feet stay rooted. If you're working with a block, lift the hips away from the block, slide the block out from underneath your sacrum, and lower your hips onto the floor. Breathe through your nose. We'll try two more like this. So again, feel free to continue working with the block if that feels better in the spine. Pressing down through the inner feet, lift the hips up. If you're working an unsupported variation, you can also try this action of grabbing hold of the outer edge of the mat with your hands and isometrically pulling the mat towards your shoulders to maybe lift the hips a little higher, ensuring your knees continue to reach straight out over the feet, that they don't move out to the sides. Try and soften the butt as much as possible to ensure that the sacrum stays wide. And then make your way onto your back. Rest and breathe through your nose. And we'll try that one more time. So again, feel free to work with the block, otherwise pushing the inner feet down, lift the hips up. To go even deeper, rock from side to side, bring the shoulder blades closer together, maybe interlace the fingers. If the fingers are interlaced, actively push the arms into the mat to lift the hips higher. Breathe deeply. Focusing on your inhale and our back bends. See if you can make the inhale last a little longer than your exhale. And slowly lowering the hips down, rest on your back. Gently draw the knees up and in towards your chest. Squeeze your knees in, give yourself a big hug. Maybe rock from side to side, just releasing our back bends. Going a little deeper, we're going to work towards happy baby. So split the legs, reach the arms inside the legs, grab hold of the outer shins, the outer ankles, or the outer feet with your hands. Feet are flexed. Head stays on the mat. Gently push your lower back into the mat and gently press the feet up as you pull the knees down with equal energy. Maybe rock from side to side. And releasing your feet back onto the mat with your arms out to the sides at shoulder height. Toe your feet to the outer edges of the mat. Let your knees drop to the right and just relax through your midsection. Inhale your knees back to center, and exhale, let your knees drop over to the left. See if you can soften any more through your torso. Inhale center, exhale over to the right. We're going to deepen our twist, so place your outer right ankle on the outer left knee and use the weight of that right leg to move the left knee a little closer to the floor. On your inhale, extend your left arm alongside your ear and reach your left fingertips towards the wall behind you as you continue reaching that left knee down and forward, moving the energy in opposite directions, creating a deeper stretch across the left side body. And with both arms out to the sides at shoulder height, we'll transition to sleeping pigeon. So keeping the legs crossed, lift the knees away from the floor, toe heel the left foot to the midline. Flex your right foot to keep the muscles around the knee joint active and the knee joint integrated. Lift the left foot away from the floor, thread your right arm between your legs, interlace your fingers around the back of the left thigh or maybe around the front of the left knee. Right foot stays flexed. Press your lower back gently into the mat as you maybe pull the left knee towards your chest, stretching across the outer right hip. And releasing your left foot down, uncross the legs, place both feet flat, arms out to the sides at shoulder height. Toe heel your feet to the outer edge of the mat and let your knees drop to the left. Place your outer left ankle on the outer right knee. And inhale, reach the right arm alongside your right ear and extend your right fingertips back. With both arms out to the sides at shoulder height, keep the legs crossed as you lift your knees away from the floor. Toe heel your right foot to the midline. Flex your left foot. Lift your right foot away from the mat. Thread your left arm between your legs. Interlace your fingers around the back of that right thigh or the front of the right knee. Left foot stays flexed as you gently press the lower back into the mat and gently pull the right knee towards the chest. Head stays down. And releasing your right foot back onto the mat, uncross the legs, place both feet flat. Toe heel the inner feet together so they're touching and let your knees drop out to the sides for a wide diamond shape of the legs. If this is too intense on the inner thighs, you can take blocks and place the blocks underneath the tops of your thighs for support. Place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your lower belly. And we'll just try some diaphragmatic breathing, transitioning to our final posture. So breathing deeply through the nose, on your inhale, feel your lower belly press to the ceiling. And on your exhale, gently pull the lower belly towards your spine. Just try that for about 3 to 5 more deep breaths. Using the breath to transition from this place of active engagement to passive awareness. as we close out our practice. And after your next exhale, allow your breath to return to its regular rhythm. Maybe stay in this position for the remainder of our session. Otherwise, if you'd rather move towards a more traditional corpse pose, you can extend the legs straight. With the feet a little wider than your hips, let your feet fall out to the sides. Your hands can stay on your body, or you can bring your arms out to the sides with the palms facing towards the ceiling. With the eyes closed, just take about 1 or 2 more deep breaths through the nose, relaxing a little bit more fully on the exhale, ensuring the fingers are soft and the muscles in the face are soft. Allowing your breath to return to its regular rhythm. Let's rest for the next few minutes, allowing the body to integrate the benefits of the practice. Keeping everything still and relaxed, connect to your breath with a deeper inhale and a deeper exhale. And on your inhale, reach your arms up overhead and stretch out from your fingertips to your toes, getting long through your spine. One by one, gently draw the knees up and into your chest. Squeeze your knees in, give yourself a big hug, maybe rock from side to side. And raising the right arm alongside your right ear. Keep your knees bent as you roll to your right, using your right arm as a pillow. Just take a few resting breaths on your side. And when you're ready, as if you're going to continue rolling to the right, use both hands to press yourself all the way up to a seated position at the top of the mat. So coming into a comfortable seat, bring your hands onto your hips. Getting tall in your spine. Just take a few breaths to your nose. And bring the hands together in front of the heart. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears. Bowing your chin to your chest, closing your practice with gratitude for this opportunity to practice. Come back to this space of mindfulness and connection that we've cultivated by virtue of our breath work and our postures. And consider maintaining this state of mind for the rest of your day. Namaste.